Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets begins with a warning that sounds impossible to ignore and impossible to explain. Harry Potter has survived his first year at Hogwarts, found real friends, and discovered that the magical world can feel more like home than the place where he was raised. But just as he's waiting to return to that world, a strange creature appears in his room and tells him that going back to school will place him in terrible danger. Harry has spent most of his life being lied to, hidden from the truth, and told to stay quiet. So naturally, when he is finally warned honestly, he refuses to listen. Harry is once again trapped in the house of the Dursleys for the summer. They are as unpleasant as ever, treating him like a problem they wish had never arrived. He is lonely, frustrated, and desperate to get back to Hogwarts where his real life seems to exist. Then Dobby the house elf appears in his bedroom. Dobby is frantic, secretive, and completely convinced that Harry must not return to school. He will not fully explain why, only that dark events are coming and that Harry will suffer if he goes back. Harry refuses. Hogwarts is the one place where he matters, where people know his name for something better than pity or annoyance. He needs to go back, whatever the risk. Dobby responds by making disaster erupt in the Dursley house during an important dinner. The result is exactly what Harry feared. His uncle locks him away more tightly than ever. Then rescue arrives in the loudest and most illegal way possible. Ronald Weasley and his brothers Fred and George show up in a flying car and pull Harry out through the window. It is one of the purest moments of joy in the film. Harry is not simply escaping a bad house. He's being reclaimed by friendship. He goes home with Ron to the Burrow, the warm and chaotic Weasley house, where life is noisy, messy, loving, and completely unlike anything he has ever known. From there, the story moves toward a new school year, but trouble follows quickly. At Diagon Alley, Harry accidentally ends up in a dark shop full of cursed objects and barely escapes with help. He also gets his first real look at Lucius Malfoy, the cold and dangerous father of Draco Malfoy. Lucius carries himself with the kind of polished menace that makes people around him quieter. At the bookstore, a large crowd is gathered around Gilderoy Lockhart, the newest celebrity of the wizarding world. Lockhart is handsome, theatrical, and totally in love with his own reputation. He announces that he will be teaching defense against the dark arts at Hogwarts, which should sound reassuring, but instead feels like the beginning of a long joke that no one realizes they are inside yet. On the way back to school, the trouble gets stranger. Harry and Ron miss the train and decide, in what feels like a perfect example of boy logic, to fly the enchanted car to Hogwarts instead. It is reckless, dangerous, and very visible. They crash into the Whomping Willow, damage the car, and arrive at school in disgrace. This would already be enough trouble for a normal year. For Harry, it is only the beginning. Once the school term starts, the atmosphere quickly shifts from lively to uneasy. Small signs suggest something is wrong beneath the surface. Harry hears a strange voice in the walls saying violent things no one else can hear. At first he thinks he is imagining it, then a message appears written in blood on the wall. The Chamber of Secrets has been opened. Enemies of the heir beware. From that moment the school changes. Fear spreads through the corridors. Teachers become tense. Students begin repeating old rumors about a hidden chamber created by Salazar Slytherin, one of the founders of Hogwarts. According to legend, he left behind a monster that only his true heir could control. Once the first students are found petrified, frozen but not dead, the legend stops sounding like a story and starts sounding like a threat moving through the castle. Harry, Ron, and Hermione begin investigating on their own. The mystery deepens because Harry himself starts looking suspicious. During a dueling club demonstration, he accidentally reveals that he can speak Parseltongue, the language of snakes. In a school already terrified of the heir of Slytherin, that is a terrible thing to discover publicly. Students begin whispering that Harry might be the heir, and for the first time, his connection to Voldemort starts to feel not just historical but personal. Meanwhile, the adult world around the children keeps proving less reliable than it should. Lockhart turns out to be exactly what he seems once you look past the smile. He is vain, useless in a crisis, and more interested in his own image than anyone else's safety. He offers performance when the school needs protection. He talks constantly but contributes almost nothing. Hermione becomes the key mind in the investigation. She suspects that if the heir of Slytherin is attacking Muggle-born students, then the monster may be moving in a way that can be tracked. She also helps form the plan to brew Polyjuice Potion so Harry and Ron can disguise themselves as other students and question Draco Malfoy. The potion is difficult, dangerous, and absolutely against school rules. The plan nearly goes wrong in several ways, especially when Hermione is accidentally transformed into something much worse than intended, but it does reveal one important truth. Draco is cruel and smug, but he is not the heir. The danger lies elsewhere. The mystery grows darker when Hermione herself is attacked and petrified. Her absence changes the emotional balance immediately. Yet even from the hospital wing she still helps them, because clutched in her hand is a torn page that solves the central puzzle. The creature in the chamber is a basilisk, an enormous serpent whose direct gaze kills. The victims survived only because each of them saw it indirectly, through a mirror, a ghost, a camera, or some other reflection. At the same time, Harry learns something else unsettling. He can understand the basilisk because he hears it speaking in Parseltongue through the walls. Suddenly, his strange ability is not just a suspicious trait. It is the reason he can follow the monster at all. Then the crisis becomes personal in the worst way. Ginny Weasley is taken into the chamber. A message appears saying her skeleton will lie there forever. The school falls into panic. Teachers talk about closing the castle. Dumbledore is removed from power by the governors, largely through the influence of Lucius Malfoy. With the headmaster gone and Ginny missing, the story strips away almost every layer of adult protection. Harry and Ron realize that if they do not act now, no one else will. They begin with Moaning Myrtle, the ghost of the bathroom where one of the attacks took place. Harry finally learns that she died in the bathroom after seeing something terrible. That detail leads him and Ron to the hidden entrance to the Chamber of Secrets concealed behind the sinks. To open it, Harry must use Parseltongue. The fact that he can do that terrifies him, but there is no other choice. Before they go down, they drag Lockhart with them, hoping to force one adult to be useful. Instead, he reveals his true nature completely. He has never done the heroic deeds from his books. He simply stole other people's stories and erased their memories. Faced with real danger, he tries to wipe Harry and Ron's minds and flee. The attempt backfires, blasting the cave behind them apart and trapping Ron on one side while Harry continues alone. Inside the chamber, Harry finds Ginny lying motionless beside a memory made flesh. The figure waiting for him is not Voldemort himself, at least not exactly. It is Tom Riddle, a preserved version of the boy Voldemort once was, living inside a diary. Riddle explains that Ginny poured her fears and secrets into the diary, and the more she gave it, the stronger he became. He has been feeding on her life, opened the chamber through her, and controlled the basilisk. This revelation is one of the most important in the series because it changes Voldemort from a distant story into something far more intimate. Evil here is not only a dark lord in a ruined past. It is memory, influence, seduction, and the ability to enter another person through trust. Riddle calls the basilisk, and Harry is suddenly facing a monster built to kill instantly. Just when it seems impossible, help arrives in a form both strange and perfect. Dumbledore's Phoenix Fawkes bursts into the chamber with the Sorting Hat. The bird blinds the basilisk, taking away its deadliest weapon, and the hat produces the sword of Godric Gryffindor. Harry uses it to fight the basilisk directly. The battle is desperate and far beyond anything a schoolboy should survive. He kills the serpent, but not before one of its fangs pierces his arm. The venom should kill him. Harry is fading fast. Riddle grows stronger, certain he has won. Then Fawkes cries healing tears onto the wound, saving Harry at the edge of death. Now Harry sees the final weakness in the chamber. Riddle lives through the diary. So Harry takes the basilisk fang and drives it into the pages. The diary bleeds ink like a living wound, and Riddle tears apart with it. Ginny wakes. The memory dies. The chamber is broken. When Harry emerges alive with Ginny, the school is saved, the attacks are over, and the truth begins coming into focus. Dumbledore returns. Hagrid, who had been sent away under suspicion connected to the old legend, is cleared and welcomed home. The children are rewarded not with money or glory, but with the return of safety and belonging. Then comes one final victory that matters for a different reason. Harry realizes that Lucius Malfoy planted the diary on Ginny to create chaos at Hogwarts and discredit Arthur Weasley. In exposing that scheme, Harry also sees a chance to help Dobby. He tricks Lucius into handing over a hidden sock inside the diary, and because a master giving clothing frees a house elf, Dobby is released. It is a small victory compared with basilisks and dark memories, but it matters deeply. Harry not only survives evil, he breaks one chain that evil depended on. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets works because it takes the wonder of the first film and threads fear through it. Hogwarts is still magical, but now the castle has memory, prejudice, hidden rooms, and ancient violence buried under its beauty. Harry's second year is the moment when the world becomes more complicated. Good teachers can fail. Cowards can wear famous smiles. History can keep hurting the present. And the thing that makes Harry special can also make him feel monstrous. What keeps the film grounded is the friendship at its center. Ron stays loyal even when terrified. Hermione solves the mystery even after being taken out of the action. Harry keeps moving forward not because he feels fearless, but because someone he loves is in danger. That is what makes him a hero again, not talent, not fame, choice. So Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets ends with sunlight returning to the castle, fear lifting from the halls, and one more year safely behind them. But it also leaves something important behind in Harry's mind. He now knows that his connection to Voldemort runs deeper than anyone first admitted, and that the world he loves contains secrets much darker than moving staircases and enchanted candles. The magic is still real, so is the danger. And from this point on, Harry understands that growing up in this world will mean facing both.